Good afternoon, viewers. My name is Mike Blanc, and I'm here today with the Dumb Watch Guy. And he's given me this opportunity to interview him and find out more about what's under the surface of the Dumb Watch Guy. So we know you all love the Dumb Watch Guy, and I know you have a lot of questions.
Not all of them do. A lot of them hate us.
No, I know you have a lot of questions, and if you want to put them into the comments below, we'll try to get back to them. But so anyways, how's the world treating the Dumb Watch Guy in this 2024?
Well, we have almost 93,000 hits.
People are hitting you.
No, they're watching the videos, Mike.
Oh, video hits. Yeah, that's
Yes.
good because
You were going to do this straight, remember?
That's right. Well, we don't want any violent hits. Dumb Watch Guy. So, what got you started interested in? Is it dumb watches or is it a dumb guy? Which is it?
Well, this was supposed to be a straight interview where I'm really sharing the way I really feel about things.
I hope so. Yes.
I'd like to begin with my thoughts on the war in Ukraine and then bring it around through the Vietnam era
Well, what kind of
to
watches?
answer that question.
So, what kind of watches are
Well,
they?
okay, let me just back up and say that
Dumb watch, dumb guy. Which is it?
the beginning was not doing these videos.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have anything to do with it at all, okay? It was simply an interest in watches, and I didn't want to put a lot of money in. And so initially my question was, what kind of watch can I buy that is cheap, that I could afford? And Casios are great values, but they're not cheap. They're $50. And so I looked for watches that were like $8 or $4.18
Or
$13.
$13.
And so really what came first was a genuine interest in playing around with watches, and I think that I was really just trying to reconnect with something that was not part of the modern bullshit smartphone obsessed world.
Well, I have to say that I have a couple of watches that were gifts from the Dumb Watch Guy, and I very much appreciate those, and I really enjoyed reinvigorating my life with watches. And I'm not kidding. I wear a watch now every day, and I've gone many years at a time without actually wearing a watch. And so thanks to some of the watches that
That's
you
a
were...
Podagar you have on. You want to show the people your watch?
Yeah, I'll be glad to. And so let me just hold that up. And I actually love this.
That was the blue-faced Podagar.
This is a blue face.
And you have the white one too, didn't you?
I have a white face in gold, and when I'm wearing my blue outfits, I switch over to this, and it's a gorgeous watch. It's one of my favorites.
Will you try this one on for me?
Sure.
This one here, the one I have on. You try that on?
Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. Let's see how that looks with... Boy, you have a bigger wrist than I thought.
Pretty big, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, there's the...
Show it to him there. Yeah.
Now that is handsome. The watch too.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Thanks.
Would you accept that as a gift? If I could
That would just be too much. That'd be sort of like bribing the interviewer.
No, I'm just saying, part of being the Dumb Watch Guy is giving watches away, and I would like to give that watch to you, but not the band. I'm going to give you the original metal band.
I would love this watch. Every watch
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I've gotten several watches from the Dumb Watch Guy, and I love them all, and I like to swap them in and out of my routines.
It's really a lovely watch. I mean, it doesn't look like a cheap watch at all.
No, not at all. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's continue. So I guess I did that because part of the joy of inexpensive watches, you can give them to your friends, and that brings me joy. So anyway, what other questions did you have for our viewing audience?
Well, so how long have you been interested in the watch market, the inexpensive watch market? When did you get started with your collection?
Two years.
In 2 years.
2 years ago.
And in 2 years' time, you've come across quite a number of marvelous examples of watches, and I'm surprised that you can really restrain yourself now from buying.
Oh, I'm
many,
very
many more.
picky. I'm not the easy watch guy. Okay, I'm not him. No, I'm very, very selective. Like this could pass for $100 watch.
Easily.
Easily.
It's
that SKMEI. The finish is beautiful on the case. It's a very attractive watch. There's no hint that this is an inexpensive watch at all. So I'm just saying, I am very, very, very picky and careful. I don't buy a lot. I buy very, very carefully.
I guess if you bought too many watches, they would start to lose their appeal because there would just be so much around to wear. But to keep it selective, I think makes sense. That's a very good idea. Dumb watch guy. Where do you go from here with your collection?
I have a SKMEI dive watch coming that's blue. And I've thought about the idea, if I like that watch, I may actually go ahead and get every version they make. So that on one watch, I can have all the different colors. I've never done that before. It's a whole new horizon. And the reason is I'm thinking that the watch will be a great choice. I don't have it yet, but I believe. Why don't you ask me if I've ever been disappointed in a watch?
It stands to reason with all the watches you've shown interest in and the ones you've purchased that somewhere along the line you may have been disappointed with a purchase. Has that happened?
Well, I wasn't expecting that question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Early on, I picked some watches that were a nice watch, but not for me. It was either too big, okay, or I found with one watch that it hurt my wrist. It caught the radius and the ulna bone in the wrong place, and that pressure kind of bothered me. So I would say that on occasion, yes, I have been disappointed. Mm-hmm.
You make an interesting point about the comfort of the wristband. Do you have a strong preference for the leather bands or the rubber bands as opposed to the metal, or just each watch is individual?
Well, I do have a preference, and if I show you my current watches, this one's going to Mikey as a gift today with the original band.
Gosh,
this is a very cheap plastic watch with a leather band. This is Casio that came with a metal band with a leather band. You're starting to see the pattern here. Mm-hmm. This was a SKMEI, very inexpensive. You have a silver one, I believe.
Yes.
I gave that to you. This had a metal band. It now has a leather band. And of course, this one here is the Seiko. No, I'm sorry. This is the Mercure, and I don't remember what band. But they almost all have leather bands, and I would say the reason is I ride motorcycles a lot. And if you have a band which is steel and you hit the ground, it will tear and rip your muscles on your arm. And I've known riders that have had that happen. So for safety reasons, I do not wear metal band watches or get into the habit of wearing metal band watches.
Well, that makes sense. I had no idea that that would occur.
Oh, by the way, the viewers may not know artist.
Oh.
I want to show them this beautiful. You want to go over by your piece of artwork?
Oh, thank you.
That was a gift from Mikey. He's a professional photo illustrator, and this was a piece of work you did. This is not a joke, and it's signed by Mike Blanc, and I framed it with a frame I had in the basement. Gorgeous, absolutely extraordinary. And that was made in the 60s, wasn't it? I believe.
Thanks, David, for making
Yeah.
it. Was made, I'm going to say, 1971 or 2. It might be dated.
Mhm.
1972, right out of high school.
Right.
I did a series of pop art drawings with pens and a little pointillism technique for shading that we used to create silkscreen prints and posters during that time. And so there was a series of about 8 or 10 various pop stars that we
Okay,
did
now
that way.
you've asked me about my collecting of watches, but now you have 4 or 5. What you're a watch collector. What do you have to say about collecting these watches?
Well, all the watches that I have now, and I think it's up to maybe 7, I love them all, and I like to look at them in the morning and decide which one I'm gonna wear. Sometimes I take them out just because they haven't been out for a while, and I give them a little.
What do you like about wearing a watch?
Well, I just think they're attractive. I think it's fun to look down at your wrist and see something decorative there. And I went, like I said, many years without watches. One of my favorite watches is a hand-me-down watch from my father. I inherited it from my father, and it's a Longines watch, and it wasn't cheap. It was a gift to him for accomplishments in the sales world in the automobile dealership, and it's inscribed from the Ford Motor Company on the back, and it's the very first digital watch. So it came from the '80s. And it's got gold, and so it's a pretty watch, which I really love to take out once in a while, but I don't wear it too often because of its value to me is sentimental. But and I like the different looks. I like the blue when I'm wearing my blue clothing. If I'm going out dressed up for church or something like that, I might wear the black band watch you gave me with the ceramic, black ceramic. I forget what kind that was. But it was a beautiful watch, and so I just like to think about what I want to look like today with my wrist wear.
Why don't you ask me now, Mike, what my favorite watch is?
David, do you have a favorite watch?
I
And
didn't
if so,
see
what
that
is it?
question coming. Yes, I'd like to tell you about my favorite watch. My favorite watch is always my next watch. And that completes the interview with Mike.
It's so nice to join you today, David, and thank you for giving all this information to the viewers. I know they're going to cherish it, and as I said, if you have any questions for the Dumb Watch Guy, go ahead and write them in the comments below, and we'll try to get to all of them as soon as possible. Thanks, David. I mean, Dumb Watch Guy.
And the slogan is, we'll say it together, this is and I am the Dumb Watch Guy. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. This is and